All right, good evening. I am going to demonstrate using algebra tiles how to solve these um, distributive how to solve these using the distributive property. So um, for this first one here, I have them all tiled because it's just taking way too long if I do it differently. So for the first one here, what it's basically saying is you have two quantities of x plus 4. So with the algebra tiles, I have x plus, I used an x because it's positive, and plus 4 because that's also positive. 2, 3, 4, so that's x plus 4, and that's x plus 4. So you have two quantities of x plus 4. So to solve the problem distributively, how many combine the like terms? So you have how many x's? 1, 2. So the answer then is 2x. And then how many individual ones do we have? I see 8, so plus 8. That is your answer. For this one. This one is basically saying wants to know is telling you that you have three quantities of negative x plus 2. So you put the negative x's in, or you put the negative x plus 2, so I used a negative one with two positives, and then times 3, so there's 3 of them. So now, just like we did in the last one, we just add together like terms. There are 3 negative x's, so you have negative 3x, and then there are 2, 4, 6, 1, so plus 6, negative 3x plus 6. All right, and then for this one down here, we have two quantities, so it's 2 times the quantity 2x plus 1. So essentially that also means, so using the distributive property, you would have 2x plus 1 plus, or you would have, hold on, I just messed that up. So using the distributive property, then essentially you have 2 times 2x and you have 2 times 1. So plus 2 times 1. So essentially that can be, using algebra tiles, you can just count. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. So 4x, and then you have two positive numbers, no zero pairs. So the answer to that is 4x plus 2. Now we get to the fun ones. So this setup here, I made an array. So you have 3x plus 2, which is represented by this column right here. Over here I have my 3x plus 2. And then on top here I have my x plus 3. You can see 1, 2, 3x, and then 2, and then 1x, and 3. So what you have to do then is you essentially, so you have x times x is x squared, x times x, or x times 1 is x times 1 is x, and x times 1 is x. So and then you do the same thing here again, x times x is x squared, so on and so forth. You got all these x's in here for a third time. And then down here you have 1 times x, so you have an x here. And then you have a 1 times 1, which is 1. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1. Those are all 1s. And this 1 times x here, it puts an x here. So then, to get the answer, you can simply, as we did before, you just count the things you have. So, how many x squareds do we have? 3 of them. 3 x squared plus how many x's do we have now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 x's. So it's going to be plus 11x plus how many ones do we have? I see 6. 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. Now for this one, it's the quantity 2x minus 3 times the quantity 3x plus 4. So I have 2x, the 2x minus 3 is being represented so I have the 2x plus 3 is being represented right on this side here. We have 2 x's, and then minus 1 3 times. And up here I have the 3x plus 4. One, 2, 3 x's, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So just like we did before, you fill in the blanks. X times x is x squared. So I put the x squared in. Same thing again, x times x, x squared. X times this x is also x squared. Then you have x times the 1 is x, and repeat that for the other 3 of them. So a whole bunch of x's again, and then the same thing down for this other x. So x times x is x squared. And then for the ones down here, so you have a negative 1 times this positive x, so that's going to turn that x negative. So we have negative x's all the way across here, 1, 2, and 3. And then you have, and then the negative 1 times the positive 1. This negative is going to turn this positive negative, so your answer here is negative. So you have a bunch of negative 1s to fill in this corner here. And over here you have more negative x's because these are all negative 1s times positive x. So, and then to get your answer, you just simply fill in the blanks. So, or count the things. How many x squareds do we have? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6x squared plus how many x's do we have? So we do have a few. We can do some 0 pair. We have some 0 pairs here to get rid of. So we can actually. So we have. So I'm actually going to remove. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete. Actually, I'm just going to remove them. So remove, 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 remove. These are all 0 pairs now. And I'm going to remove that and that. And I can remove that and that. And then we can remove that and that. Then I can remove that and that. I can remove that one and this positive x. Those are all 0 pairs. So now we have the 6x squared. How many x's do we have? We have 1 minus x. So 6x squared plus, it's a negative x. So 6x squared minus x. And then minus, how many of these do we got? 12. So minus 12. 6x squared minus x minus 12. And then for this final one here, I know this is getting long. It's just a product of me talking and forever, and yeah. So this one here we have is represented. We have x minus 1 times 3x minus 2. So x minus 1 is on this side, and then up here we have our 3x minus 2. So our x times x is x squared again, and then x times this x is x squared, x times that x is x squared, x times this negative 1 gives us a negative x, and this x times this negative 1 also gives us a negative x. And then over here you have this, you can go with this x here times, and then you go negative 1 here times x, it gives you a negative x, negative 1 times x gives you negative x, negative 1 times this x gives you negative x, then you have negative 1 times your negative 1 gives you a positive 1, and again a positive 1. So now when you go to solve this one, so for this one we're going to solve it with, so how many x squareds do we have? I see 3. 3x squared. Now how many x's do we have? Plus, so 1, 2, 3, 4, plus negative 5x, so that would be minus 5x. And then we have two positive ones, so plus 2. There's your answer, 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. All right, thanks for listening. Have a great day.